You can become my supporter by clicking that jingly wingly join button. I will play Dead by Daylight with you, you will get an exclusive Discord role, and you will get to see some exclusive secret videos. Join now and satisfy your inner needs. Hello my friends, this video is gonna be very positive because honestly I just wanted to share my appreciation with the latest Dead by Daylight's update. I understand that the update hasn't made it to the live servers yet, now you are able to play PTB, but this has to be one of the best mid-chapter patches we have ever got, because usually Dead by Daylight developers, while with good intentions, their updates fucking suck. And this time at least they didn't add a fucking King Kong to Dead by Daylight. Instead they added something even more stupid, which is Nicolas Cage, and honestly at first when this collaboration was announced, I was totally not excited for it because first of all, I don't know who the fuck is this dude. I have never watched even a single movie with Nicolas Cage, and you know, he's not famous for being in popular horror movies. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck this character has to do with Dead by Daylight. I don't think Nicolas Cage has anything to do with horror at all, and I don't think that Nicolas Cage thematically fits this game, but whenever we got to see Nicolas Cage in Dead by Daylight, we got 3 very cool perks, and long story short, I think that the new perks that come with this character are fucking awesome, and the reason why they are awesome is that they are pretty RNG and like casual perks, which means that they will not become some sort of a meta perks, but I think that Dead by Daylight is a casual game, and we've been leaning towards this game becoming more and more competitive, while on a base level DBD has always been a casual game, and I was waiting for DBD developers to add something that would feel casual into the game, and here we are. We got 3 extremely casual perks that are very funny, and I'm literally enjoying PTB just because of Nicolas Cage perks. Another thing that I like is that Nicolas Cage has probably the best voice lines in Dead by Daylight. I don't think that we got many survivors that got voice lines. I know that Ash has voice lines and Nicolas Cage has voice lines, but I can't think of any other survivors with voice lines. I know that Ash has some amazing voice lines that are funny, but he doesn't have many of them, and Nicolas Cage has like 10 minutes of pre-recorded audio with voice lines, and it's pretty funny. He speaks while opening exit gates, he speaks while going against Michael Myers, he speaks while facing Sadako, and there are some other funny situations when this character speaks out of nowhere, which is kind of ridiculous and out of place, but Dead by Daylight has never felt this wacky. Another big thing that makes this update special is big changes to the Onryo, also known as Sadako, and apparently this killer was supposed to get a buff, and reading patch notes, it seems to me like this is a big buff to this character, but surprisingly many Sadako mains are saying that this is actually a nerf rather than a buff, and I was like, how the fuck is this a nerf? And thinking now, I tried playing as Sadako on the PTB once. To tell you the truth, I have never been a Sadako main, but people who main this killer, they have developed a specific certain skill set, and their gameplay is very interesting. While casual Sadako players usually just play her like an M1 killer without teleporting too much, people who main Sadako, they usually rely on teleportation, and they don't even try to hook survivors. Instead, they just teleport into as many TVs as possible, condemn survivors, and then mori those survivors. And they pull it off if they are really good Sadako players most of the time. But with this new update, Sadako is getting 15-second cooldown after teleportation, which kind of forbids this playstyle. Also, survivors who are carrying the tape will not get condemned anymore, except if you find them and hit them. So for those people who have good knowledge on how to play Sadako, and for those of you who main this killer, this is actually a big nerf to Sadako. But for people who are very casual Sadako players like me, I played once on the PTB. You can see the gameplay footage in front of you. This feels like a big buff to Sadako, and honestly, I'm very happy with Sadako changes. I think that on a base level, Sadako was never a great killer. I put Sadako into a D tier when it comes to killer ratings, and now I would put her at least into a C tier category. I need to play her more to understand if she's really good or if she's still a piece of shit, but it doesn't feel like she's a piece of shit anymore. Also, hook grabs have been removed, and honestly, I have never had much of a problem with this thing, but when you play Survivor, obviously it feels terrible to get hook grabbed, and it's a little nerf to killer, yet overall I think that this is very beneficial for a great health of Dead by Daylight as a game. So congrats to developers, I think that this change is good. Most perk changes are looking pretty great, even though I don't use these perks. I don't use any of the perks that are getting changed with this update, but claustrophobia is getting a big buff, so this might make some killers feel better to play. Also, Hex crowd control is getting a big buff. When a survivor vaults a window or something like that, that location will be blocked for a whole minute, which is crazy. But I feel like this is a great change because Hex perks are supposed to be strong. Nowadays, we don't really have too many great Hex perks. Yes, we got Devour Hope, but keep in mind that these perks, they are very risky to take with you, because if the survivor finds your totem in the beginning of the match, then your Hex perk slot is literally fucked. You lose one perk. That's why they are risky, and there should be a risk-reward factor, which Dead by Daylight is currently lacking. It used to have that factor because Hex Ruin used to be a very fucking strong perk, but not anymore. So I'm very happy that at least one Hex perk is getting a big buff. I hope it stays in the game. I feel like a great thing is that Gen Rushing is getting an indirect nerf because brand new parts. This add-on is getting a big nerf. It's gonna be half less effective than it used to be. Also, Prove Thyself is not gonna be a popular perk anymore because you will not get any extra bonus blood points for taking this perk with you. So yeah, there are some very good perk changes that I'm all for it. Killer tweaks, I mean, Executioner is getting some changes that are okay, I guess. The Spirit add-ons are getting changes. Yeah, a lot of add-ons are getting changes, but I'm not too much into that. I don't really care about that. Moving on, there's Cold Wind Farm Balance update, and I tried playing on this map, and honestly, it feels great. The only thing I hated about Cold Wind is that middle farm, you know, section. It was completely annoying to play as survivor, as killer. You know, those fences, you can't just go through them and you need to go in circles. With this update, literally this farm has been made much more easy to approach it, and yeah, I think that overall this is one of the best map balancing updates we have ever received. So this is a cherry on top of the cake, and overall I'm very satisfied with this mid-chapter patch. I know that most mid-chapter patches suck, and I already made multiple videos criticizing mid-chapter patches. Yes, in the past we got some terrible mid-chapter patches. I feel like, I believe that skill-based matchmaking system got introduced with a mid-chapter patch. I remember when Clown got a rework, and we got, what is that map? Gideon Meat Plant rework. That map was a terribly reworked map, and I was complaining and ranting about it on my YouTube channel, but not this time. This time I got to praise developers, and I really hope that next few updates at the very least will not be fuck-ups, and I really hope that DBD is gonna finally lean towards being a casual game, because that's basically the base of Dead by Daylight. It's been made to be a casual game, and I have no idea what MMR and skill-based matchmaking has to do with Dead by Daylight, so please developers remove them. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later guys. Bye.